How many of you here are interested in business success stories? That's quite a lot of you. Well, we have one in front of us at this very moment.
That's true. I cannot wait for the next speaker. It is now my honor to introduce a visionary leader who has transformed the landscape of the pharmaceutical industry and is now spearheading efforts in sustainability and innovation. Arjun Handa, the chairman of Claris Group, his journey began in 2007 when he took a small family business and grew it into a global specialty injectables company, generating over $1 billion in value. Under his leadership, Claris not only achieved remarkable financial success, but also became a workplace of excellence, receiving the Great Place to Work award 8 times in a row. Today, he is channeling his expertise into Abalon, a waste-to-energy initiative focusing on waste management, plastic recycling, and circularity. Beyond his professional achievements, Mr. Handa is dedicated to mentoring the next generation of entrepreneurs and contributing to the broader society. Mr. Handa also carries the discipline from former professional football experiences to his business endeavors. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Arjun Handa to the TED stage as he shares his insights on leadership, sustainability, and the future of business.
Good morning. When I was reflecting, this radical reform theme always starts with a problem. It scares you. There is fear instilled, there is negative, and then there is a solution. And I think that's the way we are living in these times. So I want to talk a little bit about the environment, how we are living, how are we using materials, doing waste management, etc. So if you see the world population, 50 years ago, it was half of what we have today. 50 years before that, it was even half. The population of Ahmedabad that you see today was 20% of what it is probably 35, 40 years ago. If you see the kind of expansion that is happening within a city, within the world, people are growing. The other foundation, if you pick up, how are we living? We are living through materials. Everything that you are using to live, you've clothes, you've got plastic, you've got devices, you've got stuff in your house. Now, where is this coming from? It's coming from the earth. The electricity that you're using is made from coal. It is from the earth. The house that you have built, that you're living in, it's made from cement. Cement, a part of cement material is mined from the earth. Almost 70% or more of the things that you are using today, you have taken out from the earth. So I'll give you a minute to imagine. Imagine the earth as a planet and people are increasing and you are digging the earth further and further. You are trying to take out more and more materials from the earth to consume to live, to consume to have fun, to consume to grow. But at the end of the day, your life on planet Earth is coming at the cost of planet Earth. You are taking something out from the earth. Now, what has this led to? In 2006, Al Gore from the US made a very, very bold statement that we are going to have a very big crisis in the world. And this was 18 years ago. People thought, he's doing it for attention, it's not going to happen. And the theory there is that there is an average median world temperature that the world lives in. Now, when this temperature increases, the whole balance of the earth changes. So he had predicted 18 years ago that if the world temperature, the world average temperature rises by 5 degrees, we will have calamities. We will not be able to live on planet Earth. Now, 18 years later, that 5 degrees, we have already increased by 2.5. So when 1.5 degrees increased, people were saying, okay, it's going to take time, it's going to take 50 years, it's going to take 100 years. But the speed at which we consume has increased so dramatically. So there is abundance in the world. People are earning more money. People want to spend more money. and you are spending that money to get more things, to do more things, maybe travel more. Planes have increased, you know. So at the end of the day, what is happening is that because of the abundance, because of the consumption, the prediction was we will be able to live on planet Earth for 200 more years. The prediction now is you're lucky if you're alive after 25 years. This is the theory. And a part of this theory is right now proven because of the calamities that we see. So the temperature has already increased by 2.5. The theory is it will increase by another 2.5 in the next 25 years. And 2050 is doomsday, so to say. And a reflection of that is what you will see in today's time. So there are calamities, there are floods. People will need to die for other people to remain on planet Earth. People will need to go away for planet Earth to survive. Because at the end of the day, Earth is a material. It is a substance, right? It can go away. And so you have to sit and imagine through this, because in our day-to-day lives, it's very tough to sit and imagine and understand that what is going to happen in the future. And therefore, the whole theory that has come is the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. I don't think we are at liberty to consume as much as we consumed, right? So there's earth and then there's air. If you just reflect about maybe 40, 50 years ago, when in India, when people became affluent, they earned money, they became successful, lifestyle diseases were on the rise. So diabetes, cholesterol, etc. Today, if you see, largely lung-related diseases will be on the rise. COVID was a lung-related issue. So anything air-related is going to create a bigger problem as compared to something else. So all of this is a reflection, the calamity, the lung-related disease, etc. And therefore, the world has come up with a theory of these 3 R's. So now, I mean, if you ask the parents, about 25 years ago, you would have seen our household waste dumped outside your house, and it was getting burnt outside your house. Okay? Every society was generating a couple of kgs of waste, and we had no problem. Today, in Ahmedabad generates about 5,000 tons of waste every day. That would be good enough to fill several rooms like these every day. Last 25 years of Ahmedabad's waste, if you want to see, is in Pirana, the municipal area where we've dumped all the waste. When this waste is burnt openly, it generates methane. Methane is 26 times more harmful than carbon dioxide. And therefore, the air contamination, therefore the depletion of the ozone layer, therefore the lung-related diseases. And therefore, the whole theme that India is right now picking up is on recycling. And so a time will come where we will have to question, do I need this? Whatever you have on yourself, your clothes, your devices, whatever you see in front of you, we will one day end up questioning, where did this come from? Was it grown, and can it be regrown? Can it be regenerated, recycled? Or am I taking permanently? If you dig the earth, you take out something, you use it, it's permanent, it's gone. The earth is not producing limitless coal. Right? The earth is not producing limitless petrol. One day it is going to end. And therefore, living on planet Earth is going to be a challenge, which is now a serious conversation amongst several people. The biggest theme today is climate change. I think the biggest investment in the world, trillions of dollars, is going towards climate change. And therefore, the world has come up with a system that we will be able to live on planet Earth only if 17% of all the materials that we use will be recycled, circulated back. 17%, it's a low number, but of everything that you see on planet Earth. That is very, very big. And therefore, if you see, the first question that eventually we will be asking ourselves, maybe 5 years later, 10 years later, is do I need to buy this? Do I really need it? That whole consumption theory, more is good, abundance, more money, therefore more spending. This whole thought process is going to sort of go down, especially with the new generations coming up with more consciousness and awareness. That is going to happen. So that will be reduced. The second obviously will be reused, and the third will be recycled. And so in terms of living, I would say that there are three sort of biggest things that I would urge you to consider. One is you use solar for your electricity. Today, households in India have made their electricity bill zero just by installing solar on your rooftop, solar somewhere around. And therefore, reducing coal-based electricity consumption is one of the biggest things that you can do. The second is obviously EV. Using electrical vehicles is going to be the future. I think, just like we've seen substances getting banned, smoking getting banned, one day diesel petrol vehicles are going to get banned. It's very clear because we just can't do it now. So using EV consciously. And the third is recycling whatever you are using. So if you go to Japan, in every house and everywhere on the streets, there are some minimum of 7 boxes of trash. So glass, paper, metal, food waste, other waste. There are categories of how that waste is recycled. All of us have traveled abroad. We've seen 3 boxes, we've seen 4 boxes. In some countries like Denmark, Sweden, who are the leaders of recycling, they've got 17 boxes. So before you are throwing anything, you are thinking. So they are taking the waste. Let's say you have got a food waste. So you have to dump the food somewhere else. You have to take the paper plate or the plastic plate of that food waste and dump it somewhere else. If there is metal, you are dumping it somewhere else. If you're throwing away a device, it is somewhere else. So e-waste is different. Medical waste is different. Today in our houses, maybe we use a thermometer and throw it in the trash can. Or throw whatever medicines we want in the trash can, right? When this waste gets mixed, it is the most toxic substance probably today. It is like breathing in sulfur dioxide, It is that bad. And people can get cancer out of it, they can get other diseases out of it. And therefore, it is important that where are we throwing what? Now, today we can blame that India is not doing a good job, municipality should be recycling, they should send me 5 boxes. So you can act as a consumer and say, India governance is not good, and so I'm not going to do it. So fine, I think India takes time to catch up. And it will take some time before you have 7 boxes in your house. It will take a lot of time even before you have 3 boxes in the house. We are just starting to collect the waste. In India, that normally 60% of your waste was collected. 40% were outside. Today, 95% of the waste is collected by the municipality and sent to the dump yard. At least we are getting started there. We are setting up waste to energy plants. I know of all these theories because over the last couple of years, I've got involved with this waste to energy, where you can burn the waste. You can generate power out of it. You can take the food waste. You can generate biogas out of it. It goes back into the electricity grid. It goes back into the CNG system to use the gas. Plastic is recycled back into whatever buckets, tumblers. It can be downcycled also. So I think if we wait for the radical reform, so to say, for the country to do, it will take some time. I think this is a conscious effort. And EV is available today. Do you choose to buy it or you choose to complain, saying it does not have range, charging infrastructure nahi hai, baad mein karenge types, So I think it's a conscious decision to say that I will be recycling that waste myself. There are companies today that you can take off an app who will come and collect waste from your house. There are companies today whom you can call and give your waste. So at least you're doing your job. And at the end of the day, pap, punya, karma, etc. If you've lived a good life with recycling, maybe if there is a pralay, if there is a calamity, if there is a larger problem in the world, maybe because you are the better citizen and you've done good karma, maybe you will be saved and somebody else who is polluting earth and not doing a good job might be the one who's going. We don't know. We don't know what's in store in the future. So I think it is these three things that I want to leave you with. Use of EV, solar, and recycling. And I think we will come to a phase where we will be questioning a lot of things of how we are living. It's already happening. You know, earlier people were eating bad. Today people are eating healthy, etc. So it is a point that is going to happen. Nobody is going to be able to ignore it. The earlier that we learn, the better it will be. So thank you very much. Hope you find this useful.